Entry 741021! Perhaps this station will hold the key to the real goals of Group 935. I still do not trust my unconventional allies, but they are of great use to me. But I digress. Who would have thought the MDT was capable of time travel? How many stations does this group have? Where did that little girl disappear to? Only time will tell what new questions await us in this theater of the damned.
Who didn't pay the electric bill? I think Dempsey is right. It is a bit fishy. Oh, I found the rock. Great. Oh, well, maybe I'll just sit here and nap.
I just want to ask you a few questions about. Okay. I just want to have a conversation with you about, sort of the concept that's in.
Hey, the drive. you filthy creature! Vodka for everybody! A toast to a brilliant weapon! Somehow I have good aim! I drink to the nuclear bomb! Nikolai will show them the way back to hell now!
Fetch me their souls!
Hello, Ray. Would you like to taste my vodka? It got fur in my mouth! Down, suka! Die, hell dog! Why am I so heavy now? Please, I have no job. They were here, now they're not. Such is life in the... fuck it. From my vodka! Wow, this is a classic. Explosives make things so much easier. This is proper socialist reform. What I call a goulash. Reach for what tonight. What's that smell? Maybe I shorted. Boom! You are dead! Just what the doctor ordered. Explosives make things so much easier. Stay away from my vodka! But it's a classic. They were here, now they're not. Such is life in the... fuck it. That will keep them out for a while. Don't slip in the slime! Thank you, disembodied girl voice. Now that's what I call a goulash. demon hell pigs!
Fetch me their souls!
Come, sucker. I have vodka for you. No soul for you! Woof, woof! Die, demon spawn! Woof, woof! Die, demon spawn! Explosives make things so much easier. Hurry, come on. Oh, I like, it's pretty. They were here, now they're not. Such is life in the... fuck it. Why am I so heavy now? No touchy! I have issues. You got slime on my uniform!
Oh, it was... Okay. We'll shut it off then for you. Nice talking to you. We'll have to forward this over. So. Okay, Corey. Well, keep wheeling and dealing, I guess. We're down. Okay, Corey. Have a good one. That's a good hangout. Because you said it. Alright, talk to me. He told us to get back here, so he had to get off his property. And they said they were going to get a lawyer involved or something. Well, we'll see what happens with that. But, yeah, it turned out that Corey was not... After all, he said he was.
How you doing, officer? You responded to a call?
So basically, person who sent a picture of his and said a bunch of other sexual stuff in the conversation. Then we went to his house just now just to have a word with him about the content. I do. Some of it is in this binder here, and I have the rest in a Google Drive folder on a phone that I would be happy to forward over. And we were told to leave the premises, so we did. Yeah, absolutely. It is Predatorial Investigation Unit. Investigation Unit.
Canada isn't a rich country anymore. It's a luxury prison with polite branding. If you've got kids, you better hope they love misery. Because this future, it's 2 hours a day trapped in traffic just to collapse into a 500 square foot shoebox that they'll never own. That's not stability. That's a life sentence with maple syrup on top. They give you a Tim Hortons coffee and a pat on the head while they chain you to a lifetime of debt. Here's the forbidden truth. This government isn't managing the economy. It's burning it to the ground. 61% of GDP just to keep the corpse twitching. That's not prosperity, that's life support. And it gets even darker because the U.S. just dropped a 25% tariff like a steel boot on Canada's net. That riddle isn't abstract. It's about to crush your job, explode your rent, gut your grocery bill, and erase your retirement before you even get there. You're not in the middle class, you're not safe, you're not stable, you're in the Titanic. And Carney just sold the life rafts to foreign investors. If you don't stick around for what I reveal at the end of this video, your family's future sinks to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean right alongside you. You'll never see it coming, and by the time you do, it's already too late. Let's set the battlefield. Housing is untouchable, rent is unlivable, wages are laughable, and taxes, you're paying 50% just so the government can give you free healthcare. With wait times so long, they'll die in the waiting room. Canada's version of prosperity is a Ponzi scheme, and the payout already ran dry. Meanwhile, what is the media telling you? Everything is fine. Just rented. Smile more. It's safe up here. Yeah, safe for what? Owning anything? Having a future? This is why no one trusts the system anymore. Because the system is rigged to keep you poor and polite about it. Let me paint you a real picture. Canada has 41 million people, and in the last 2 years, we brought in millions more immigrants with no plan for jobs, housing, or infrastructure. Now every subway is packed, every PR is collapsing, and every real estate deal is getting snapped up by people with offshore money and zero intention of living here. This isn't immigration, it's asset colonization. You're not buying real estate in this country anymore. You're renting it back from global capital with your own tax dollars. Still think we're a rich country? Let me hit you with a stat that should make your blood boil. Over 2 million food bank visits were reported in a single month, and 1/3 of those people had jobs. That's how deep we are in the law. And what is the government doing? Doubling down, printing more money, taxing more people.
In total taxes last year,
policies that serve no one except the professional class in the form of debt. Let me say it louder for you guys in the back. This country is not growing. It's just being looted in broad daylight. If you're still watching, you're one of the only ones who can actually handle the truth. Most can't. They'll call this negative. They'll say you're being dramatic. No, I'm being accurate. You know what's dramatic? Spending $3,200 a month on rent for a 2-bedroom condo in Toronto while making $55 grand a year and paying 48% tax. That's not drama. It ends with your family broke and your kids in debt for life. Let's talk productivity. Canada's not growing, we're not building, we're not investing, we're decaying. We're one of the worst performing G7 economies post-2008 because we choose bailouts over business and ideology over infrastructure. This wasn't bad luck, it was engineered failure. Productivity is flatlined, wages are stagnant, and our business investment is a joke compared to the US, Germany, even Japan. Why? Because we punish success here. You try to win, we tax it, regulate it, and smear you for being greedy. So all the top talent, they leave. All the capital, it flows south. Canada exports its best people and imports its worst policies. But it gets even worse, because now we've got tariffs. You know what that means? Thousands of jobs at risk. Entire industries on life support. And what is Ottawa's solution? A 2-year freeze on foreign home buyers after the damage has already been done? They're not leaders, they're janitors trying to sweep up the ashes of a fire that they lit themselves. Look at the mortgage system. Canada doesn't do 30-year fixed terms like the US. We do 5-year resets, which means every 5 years your life is up for auction. One interest rate hike and your payment jumps $800 overnight. You're not a homeowner. And let's not forget this one. The average Canadian household is more indebted than the average American was before the 2008 crash. Read that again. We're living in a system more fragile than the one that collapsed Wall Street. But everyone's pretending like it's fine because our banks haven't failed yet. It's coming. And when it hits, don't say you weren't warned. If you've been sitting here thinking, wait, how did it get this bad? Here's your answer. We bet everything on one customer, the US. Now that customer is cutting us off. And while Americans are locking in 30-year mortgages, we're out here praying our renewal doesn't bankrupt us. This is not what a rich country looks like. And if you're still watching right now, you've already known. The system is not built for people like you. It's built to extract. But here's the way out. You either play offense or you get priced out. That's why we built a free buyer's guide. Buying in Canada right now feels next to impossible. But did you know that some Canadian buyers are getting 100% commission? Want to know how all this ends? Simple. The middle class gets deleted. You'll own nothing, and not because you're some enlightened hipster, but because you got outbid by another company. The Canadian economy isn't declining. It's being hollowed out top to bottom by people who don't play by the rules you do. And here's the real kicker. People in power know exactly what they're doing. They just don't care because collapse is profitable. If you're the one selling the lifeboats. Marty doesn't feel your mortgage pain. Christia Freeland never had to buy her lunch and wonder if she can afford gas. The Bank of Canada isn't sweating rate hikes. They're controlling it. You think they're trying to fix this? No. They're just monetizing the slow death of the country. Let's go deeper. Why do we keep hearing Canada has strong fundamentals? It's because lies sell better than pen. They tell you unemployment is low, but what they don't say is that half the job growth is government payroll and gig work. Uber drivers, Amazon packers, junior bureaucrats. This is not an economy. It's a patchwork of paychecks duct taped together to hide the rot. And the banks, let's talk about them. Canada's big 5 banks are leveraged gambling, stacked with variable rate mortgages that look fine on paper, but collapse the second another rate hike hit. You know why they haven't failed yet? Because the government is propping them up quietly while pretending everything's normal. We're in 2007 all over again, except this time it's not Wall Street, it's Bay Street. And instead of subprime credit, we've got $900,000 mortgages on tax points in cities like Hamilton and Oshawa, bought by 2 teachers with a line of credit. You still think this ends well? It doesn't. It ends in a generation locked out, taxed to death, and lied to. It ends with people earning $80K and feeling poor. It ends with boomers pulling up the ladder and telling everyone else to work harder. And the worst part? The people getting crushed the hardest blame themselves. Because we've been taught that if we can't make it work, it's our fault. Not the system, not the policies, not the broken framework. No, it's you. You didn't budget enough. You bought coffee. You didn't hustle. What a load of shit. No amount of side hustles will fix this. You can't TikTok your way out of structural collapse. You can't Shopify your way out of a system built to milk you dry. But here's what you're not ready for. The awakening is already happening. And people waking up aren't just pissed, they're starting to take action. Buying assets, burning cash out of Canadians, pulling money from a rigged Canadian system, and putting it where it actually grows. And yeah, I know some of you are thinking, but I love Canada. I want to fight for this country. So do I. But here's the difference between fighting for your future and voluntarily bleeding for a system that would happily bury your kids in debt for life if it kept the bank happy for another quarter. In the U.S., you can still buy a cash-flowing asset with a 30-year fixed term. You can access better tax incentives, better amortization, and better appreciation in growth states like Texas and Florida. Meanwhile, in Canada, you're buying a 1975 Lexus in Oshawa for $1.2 million with a 5-year term at 5.5% with negative cash flow. You're not investing, you're volunteering for financial suicide. But here's the kicker. If you're still watching right now, it's because you're one of the very few people outnumbered by propaganda. And if you are good, that means you're dangerous to the system. Because awareness equals action equals economic freedom. Let me show you exactly how that happens. See, when I said earlier, you're on the Titanic and Tony just sold the life raft to foreign investors. That wasn't a metaphor. That was a roadmap. You want to know how it actually plays out? Here's how. Those lifeboats are commission rebates. The secret cash most buyers don't even know exists. The 100% refunds going to the few buyers smart enough to actually pay for it. That's $25,000 or more going back into the pockets of the ones who read between the lines, while everyone else drowns in closing costs. Most don't offer it, they don't want you to know it exists, because the system depends on your ignorance. This isn't just about money, it's about control. Every dollar you save is a dollar that doesn't serve the system. Every rebate you claim is a quiet act of war against the people who spent 15 years siphoning your future. So what do? You arm yourself, you grab the blueprint, you learn how it works before they plug the leak and kill the loophole. Because here's the final truth. You think things are bad now. Wait till your mortgage renews, and your kid needs braces, and your car breaks down, and your savings are worth less every month because the Bank of Canada is silently printing money in the bank. If you don't know how to fight that, you're done. But if you do, you win. That's why I made this guide. Not a pitch, not a talk in circles, not to set up a call and waste your time, but to hand you the playbook, the same one smart buyers are using to put up to $25,000 or more back in their pocket. Because once you see how it works, you'll never miss. Governments are already eyeing change. Brokerages are tightening the rules. This isn't going to stay wide open forever, but today, it's still alive. So here's the move. Click the link, grab the guide, and make sure you're one of the ones that doesn't end up rent or broke.
Did you know that every day in the United States of America, somewhere around 40% of adults consume fast food? Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the occasional McNugget being fed to me every once in a while, but all in all, this stuff is just not healthy for me. But apparently, 47-year-old Steven didn't get that memo. Judging by his EDP 445 inspired build, he's been eating fast food regularly for a long time. And even when he was caught red-handed for trying to get a cupcake, he still couldn't resist the urge to stuff his face with some good old-fashioned American cuisine. Steven, make a comment. This is going to be the last time you have Culver's for a while. Did you add an order of Predator pickles to that? You like Predator pickles, right? Now, we can't get into the full extent of what Steven here was saying in the chat logs here on YouTube, but if you want the full dose of cheese curds, be sure to head on over to skatergames.locals.com. Here you can read the full chat logs, watch this video uncensored, and more. One of the main things he said was, I'm going to be beta at first, but once I start kissing you, I will start bulging, and that's when the alpha will come out. Are you ready for the alpha? I don't want to see that. I don't think I'm ready for it. That's what we got some here. You're quite the alpha male, are you? Joe? You mind if I call you Joe? I like your shirt. You just made the list. Looks like you might have just made the sex offender list. When she calls you dude, you say, it's not dude, it's daddy or sir. So that's what you like to call me. No, so not Joe. So daddy or sir is what you like. You even say you want to make it a permanent thing. You messing around with her and her cousin. Hey, Joe, it's right here. Becoming a supporter on locals really goes a long way in helping us take down these bad guys, so I highly encourage you to do so. Now that I've got my begging out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, we're back at it again. We're here in Lansing, Michigan, the capital of Michigan. We're in a Culver's parking lot right now. The Walmart is behind us right now where we're supposed to be meeting. This monstrosity here is he goes by the name John, I believe it was. Was he talking to people? No, Joe. Joe. He goes by Joe, but his actual name is Steven. We did a quick number search on him. He thinks he's coming to a Walmart tonight to meet who he thinks is a he sent graphic images, talked about a lot of things. You know, it's pretty much more of the same stuff that he's talking about. But the unique thing about this guy is that he said that he's going to be handling things. He said he's going to be bringing something for the girl to try and indulge in. And, you know, he's skipping the whole gateway drug and going right to the bad stuff. So, you know, here he says, I can get whatever you want. I guess it doesn't have to be whatever you want to try. He says, I think it would be fun. Yeah, he's saying he might bring. So, you know, we're going to see what the deal is with this guy. Eric from PCI is coordinating this whole thing, so big shout-outs to PCI. I'm going to call him real quick and get an update on what's going on.
Yo, what's up? Hey, bro, we're about to pull into the parking lot. Is he in the store yet? Do you know?
I don't think he's in this. He sent a picture. I sent you a,
okay.
picture just now.
Yeah.
Me.
Okay. This is where he's sitting right now. So I'll show you here. Yeah, this is his perspective. He's more in the front. This one right here?
That name right there?
Yeah, he's definitely on this side, close to, see where it says pickup right there. I see that. He might have moved though, who knows? Yeah, he probably is not white vehicle.
But it does also make me think that we are not going to get, ever, a really good deal with Donald Trump.
A very unique website is just being... My name's Dave, and today we have a private citizen who's put together data from the government showcasing the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, the Mobility Program, which is also Temporary Foreign Worker Program, just without the Lima requirements, essentially easier permits, and student visas, all in a nice chart. You can easily see the data. It is staggering. We also got this outrageous clip of Melanie Joly talking to Rosemary Barton on the CBC. Let's jump into this. Starting this one off, holy crap, someone started a website to track how many temporary work permits are being issued in Canada. 3.1 million permits in 2024. So this comes from this website here, immigrationstatistics.com is the website. And there's a lot of information here, so scrolling up to the top, I'll just make it big. So first off here in red, you can see this is the International Mobility Program. The green is study permits, and the TFW program is the blue one. So obviously the biggest comes from the International Mobility Program, and adding this together, 3.1 million total. Even if you take out the green one here, the study permits, you're still at 2.1 million people. No wonder Canadians can't find jobs. This is the same chart just shown in a different manner here side by side. The mobility program is off the charts, and then removing the study permits, we have the data shown here as well as another one showing them side by side here. Scrolling down, we see the mobility permits and TFW permits in the year they became effective, i.e. granted. That's why you're seeing 2025 being lower, because they haven't been granted yet. Now scrolling down, what do we have here compared to origins in Canadian immigration approved temporary residence applications? India versus America, 50,000 versus 3.6 million. This is an interesting one here. You can see approved applications, extensions for Canadian temporary residence per origin country from January 2022 to 25. This is the last 3 years. You're seeing India dominating here, 3.6 million. The next closest shows this is China at 1.1, Ukraine 1.1, and then all the rest here. So all the rest of these combined isn't even close to what is coming from people coming from India. This one here is from January 2020 versus 2022, so this is 2 years more, so 5 years total, and we're seeing a lot more people from Ukraine in comparison, going back 2 more years. So this is interesting because you can change the data here, changing the date, so this is already Trudeau got in 2013. Now look at the difference here. Temporary foreign worker program dominated by Mexico. This is because we've got people coming in to pick fruit. Going back and looking at the data here, the blue is temporary foreign workers. I should know when me or basically anyone else is talking about temporary foreign workers, we're talking about both of these combined. The International Mobility Program is just a different program of working here in Canada. So in comparison, you can see International Mobility Program is dominated by India, where the TFW is dominated by Mexico, but this only makes up like a tenth of the International Mobility Program. Finally, let's break down citizens versus permanent resident versus study permit holders. That's what we see here, study permit holders per year. This is just the last 5 years. We've got India at 1 million, then China, then Philippines. We've got asylum claimants, top 25 countries. India, 32,000, Bangladesh, Nigeria. There shouldn't be that many from India, hardly at all. We've got humanitarian and compassionate work permit holders per country. India, Mexico, 80. Canadian permanent residents by origin country, 600,000 from India, China, then Philippines. Even Canadian citizens by origin country, 260,000 from India. This is just in the past like 2.5 years. Philippines by 130,000, Nigeria, 46,000, Pakistan, Syria, China. This is some really interesting data, and it just goes to show, you can see how much of it if you scroll all the way up. The biggest piece of info coming from this is this right here, 3.1 million. No wonder Canadians can't find jobs. So jumping over to the CBC, we've got Melanie Jolie here, looking like she just ate a day-old burrito, telling us how important the CP topic is. I'm going to start calling it climate change. I think you know what I'm talking about, the C word.
We're not looking at Chinese electric vehicles, which right now are subject to 100% tariff. But would that also be considered lowering that tariff?
At this point, the 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs is the policy still standing.
So they're not touching that because they don't want cheap Chinese EVs to compete with the local market that essentially gone bankrupt. So we're going to let the canola industry completely crash and burn? That doesn't make any sense.
You know, the auto sector is under extreme pressure. Obviously, that's what you're dealing with. But climate is also under extreme pressure. And I wonder what the...
Anytime she says the C word, I'm going to put a duck noise in from now on.
Move to view this policy says the government's commitment. Okay.
The Minister of the Environment, Judy DePerson, is working on a new competitiveness strategy. We believe that it is for us in our interest, not only, of course, to fight climate change, which is obvious, but also...
It's obvious. It's just so obvious. It's not like exporting more LNG would produce far more results globally than anything else we could do here in Canada. Canadians recycling, cutting down how many steaks a Canadian eats, or taking the bike to work once in a while. All that stuff doesn't matter in relation to Canada exporting LNG to India and China. They know this. They don't want to admit this. I wish one of the reporters asked Mark Carney this question and specifically give this example, because none of these Liberals want to answer this question.
To reap the benefits of an industrial strategy linked to be able to be in clean tech. You know, when you look at the companies that are worldwide leaders in clean tech, many of them are Canadians. Actually, we're in the top 100, and we want to build them even more. And that's why our policy, particularly our pricing, our industrial carbon pricing, is really, really important to make sure that these companies continue to be competitive. So we'll continue to do that while we want to become an energy superpower. You've heard us saying that. That's why major projects are important.
If this strategy was really working, they would collect data on it and prove to us that it's a better business case to have companies positioned around climate change, being more eco and green. They don't have this data, they don't collect this data because they know they're full of crap. We'll jump back to that in a second. Let's go to Mark Carney's book, Values. The point is that social movements can move slowly and then with surprising speed. Variously termed social memes, behavioral cascades, moral sentiments. These shifts in values can suddenly drive immense change. Governments are responsible for translating this.
Yo, what's up everybody? It actually happened. So gold has hit 5,000 Canadian dollars an ounce for the first time in its history tonight. So that's like the first time in billions of years gold has hit 5,000 Canadian dollars. I mean, technically like 250 years because Canada's only been around for 250 years. But yeah, first time in 250 years gold has been that high. Crazy. And silver's at 57 an ounce. This is pretty sweet, Aslan. What do you think about this? Whatever, I guess you're not in the talking mood tonight. Aslan? Yeah, whatever. You don't seem to care. But yeah, $5,000 an ounce. No!
Momentum into actionable policies that are set on credible. Silver at 57 an ounce. This is pretty sweet, Aslan. What do you think about this? Whatever, I guess you're on the top of tonight. Aslan? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, $5,000 now. What's up, everybody? What actually happened? So, gold has hit 5,000 Canadian dollars an ounce for the first time in its history. So that's like the first time in millions of years. And predictable paths. One way to do this is to put in place frameworks so that every financial decision takes climate change into account. This is Mark Carney's words. This is what he's doing in Canada. He's making every single thing that we do in life will revolve around this. But the biggest actions like exporting LNG to India and China, they don't want to do that because they don't really care about this and solving this problem, if you want to call it that. We're not going to get into the weeds of that, of numerous scientists on both the left and the right debating whether this is even real or not. Let's just say, though, if this is real and this is a problem facing everyone on Earth, then they would do actions like exporting LNG because that has a far bigger impact on the global CO2 levels. Now, they don't do that because they can't make money off of that. Not the money they're looking for. That doesn't give them power over the Canadian people. It's not an easy way to monetize unless they're directly investing and owning all the LNG facilities. And that would only make them money. That doesn't give them control over the Canadian population, such as with ED mandates. That is control over the population. And you've seen so much pushback that Mark Carney's had to pull back on it, but he's going to bring that back at some point.
That's what we'll invest in different types of energies in the context of our C5 major project initiative.
Would that include, though, those projects could include, I suppose, a pipeline, something that may or may not contribute to our fight against pollution?
So we've said we would be supporting. We said we would be supporting conventional energy and also, obviously renewable energy. Our goal is still the same. We have to be net zero by 2050. and we are seeing...
We just have to. We just have to. Why? Why do we have to? Tell me why. And show me with actual data and proof. You don't have any. That's why I'm calling this out. She's got nothing. The reason why is because Mark Carney has a whole bunch of stocks that are all lined up with net zero, and he's going to make a lot of money off of it. Because he's prime minister, he's calling the shots, and all these liberals without a backbone are lining right up there to stand there right with them.
I think that, of course, environmental impacts of change are being felt. So this is still very top of mind, but we're just being pragmatic. We are dealing with real economic pressures, so that's why this plan is really to deal with our clear, dealing with now what we're doing.
She just said dealing with real economic pressures. That is what the EV mandate was putting on the auto industry, and Mark Carney even admitted that, and then they've released that EV mandate, thus relieving the economic pressures. Why are you guys putting economic pressure, negative pressure on our major industries, hurting Canadian jobs, making life more unaffordable and miserable for Canadians? That is the question. We need to have laws in the books that protect Canadians against this kind of corruption.
Thinking ahead and really, putting down the foundations for Canada's long-term prosperity by making sure we can build in Canada through our steel. So maybe our ports, maybe our rail, including, a speed rail between Windsor and Quebec City, and making sure that we can build more homes through Canada Homes, which will be the new agency we'll be creating with lumber from Canada, with steel also.
They'll be creating that at some point. 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, they'll create that. Don't worry.
Yeah, from Canada. So this is what we need to do.
I understand the attempt to realign things to make sure that Canada is more resilient within our borders. But it does also make me think that we are not going to get ever a really good deal with Donald Trump with the United States again. Is that sort of what you've come to conclude as well, that this is something that is not going to be negotiated to a satisfactory outcome?
So I think the Canadians understand that there are many things happening in the world we can't control, and we will concentrate on one we can control. At this point, we have 85% of the products being sent to the U.S. that are tariff-free. Now, we need to focus on the strategic sectors: steel, aluminum, auto, lumber, copper. Okay?
No, you need to focus on the whole package, because CUSMA's coming up for renegotiation starting in a month and a half. CUSMA's done July 1st, so this isn't something that's in the distant future. This is something that's happening soon. 3/4 of a year, and Canada's going to be getting whacked with who knows what kind of tariffs. If we don't get this situation sorted out quickly, like an election, and get them the heck out of government quickly, Canada is going to be in very bad shape, because we're only feeling an economic squash of 15% of our economy. We feel the American boom of the entire economy pushing down on us. It's going to be game over around here.
And there have been threats against other sectors. So rather than going industry specific, we're going through a comprehensive package which is dealing with all industries to deal with not only the sectors affected, but the threats and of unpredictability that is making capital allergic to investment. This is now
capital is allergic in Canada right now. It's literally fleeing out the door down to America because all of these regulations and policies are driving it down south. No business wants to do business here because it sucks. That's the Coles notes of it. It sucks to do business in Canada right now.
Time. Because of the rupture I was telling you about, the fact that international trade will never be the same. This is a time where there is a real transformation in our economy, and if we're not smart and acting fast, it will really have an impact on Canadians and our livelihoods. So that's why there's a sense of urgency, and that's why the government is acting.
The government isn't acting. There's no urgency. It's been 6 months. You guys have literally done nothing. What are you talking about? Moneybags here doesn't have any real problems. There's Canadians with real problems in this country, like not being able to afford food and the rent. There's no urgency here. You don't know what urgency is. When you see your bank account, there's no money in there. These people are so detached from reality. How do they even count net zero to claim we will reach it by 2050? We're already net zero. Our land, waters, vegetation absorb roughly double our CO2 human activity emits in Canada. I've already showed this on a video. It does depend. Some years we have more CO2, and some years we absorb more CO2 based on how many forest fires. But it comes down to it. We know there's going to be forest fires every year, and right now there's some bad ones. We have enough money to buy water bombers to put all of them out, but right now the Liberals are sending all that money we should be spending on water bombers and sending them off to all their pet projects around the world that have no financial audits. So really, if we had an army army of water bombers, we could put out all those fires, we would be net zero, net negative every single year. But that's not really their goal. They don't really care about that. They're just using this as a green grift to make money off of it. Mark Carney's loaded to the gills with millions of dollars of stocks and all of this crap. Okay, let's go back to Mark Carney's book here. So he's got some conditions here, the smaller text. Just to set it up here, it says, over the last 10 years, these effects have helped reduce the cost of onshore wind, solar, photovoltaics, and batteries 60, 90, 85% respectively. Public policy must use levers to unleash further progress in these and in a widening set of other technologies. These levers include a clear carbon price path for the next
For millennia, rich people and royalty have surrounded themselves with the most valuable things they could get their hands on. Gold, silver, diamonds, and emeralds have all been sought after by kings and queens for as long as they've been around. But surprisingly, so was amethyst. Sure, amethyst is pretty, but these days you're more likely to find it in the rummage bin of a museum gift shop than a wealthy person's jewelry box. So, what happened? What's behind the purple gem's powerful fragrance? There's a myth that the Greek god of wine, Dionysus, was trying to woo a beautiful maiden whose name was Amethyst. But Amethyst didn't want any of it, so she appealed to the goddess Artemis to keep her pure in the face of Dionysus' advances. Artemis protected her by turning her into pure, clear quartz. Not sure if that was what she had in mind, but it was effective. Apparently, out of respect for Amethyst's sacrifice, Dionysus poured wine over the quartz, staining it purple and creating the unique amethyst gem. Like Dionysus, humans have loved amethyst since at least the time of the ancient Greeks. The name comes from a Greek word meaning not drunk, since they believed that the stone could protect a person from intoxication. There's no evidence to suggest that's actually true, but amethyst's real backstory does have some surprising facets. As the myth suggests, the mineral is a form of quartz that has been colored purple, but the stain comes from concentrations of iron scattered throughout the crystal structure. Depending on the amounts of each element, the color of amethyst can range from a delicate pale lavender to a striking deep bluish purple. It's typically found among igneous rocks, crystallizing inside empty spaces to create geodes, and these things can get big. The largest amethyst geode that's ever been found is more than 5.5 meters tall and weighs 20 tons. But surprisingly, it wasn't until recently that scientists got a handle on how these beautiful gemstones form. Some thought they crystallized from hot hydrothermal liquids in the same way that many quartz veins do. Others suggested that they formed from rainwater percolating through at lower temperatures. In 2024, scientists studying amethysts from Uruguay discovered that the fluids that formed these crystals had the same chemical characteristics as the nearby groundwater, and that it had crystallized at temperatures as low as 15 degrees Celsius. Just like water passing through limestone can dissolve and redistribute calcium carbonate to make elaborate cave formations, rainwater trickling through igneous rocks can sometimes dissolve and recrystallize quartz and iron into amethyst. But that's just part of the story. We've learned that there's another crucial factor in amethyst's formation, and that's radiation. Igneous rocks are naturally radioactive, with unstable isotopes of uranium, potassium, and thorium decaying over millions of years and releasing their radiation into the surrounding minerals. And it's now thought that this radiation is what creates amethyst's beautiful purple color. The natural radiation ionizes the iron trapped inside the quartz, creating charged atoms that reflect purple light. Radiation can continue to have an effect on amethyst's color after it's been brought to the surface, too. The gem can fade if exposed to too much UV light, or it can have its intensity artificially enhanced by treating it with X-ray radiation. Since amethyst is still fundamentally quartz, it has the same hardness and durability as the common rock-forming mineral. That makes it great for use in jewelry and even practical objects like tableware. But really it's the color that everyone cares about, and what makes amethyst the most valuable form of quartz. In fact, for much of documented history, amethyst was one of the most valuable gemstones of all. Alongside diamond, ruby, sapphire, and emerald, it was considered a so-called cardinal gem, valued above all others because of their intense color, religious significance, and rarity. Among these, amethyst was of particular interest to royalty because it was purple, a color that was very difficult to find in nature or synthesize artificially. So it became a symbol of the richest and most powerful people who could obtain it. This obsession with purple goes way back to the ancient Egyptians. Archaeological evidence shows that amethyst was mined at a place called Wadi el-Hudi in Egypt's eastern desert. Inscriptions from the Middle Kingdom between 2000 and 1700 BCE describe workforces of up to 1,500 men setting out on expeditions to find and extract the precious gem. But because the mineral's color fades in the sunlight, something that's in abundance in the desert, the rocks wouldn't have been visible on the surface. It would have taken a lot of labor-intensive trial and error to find veins and pockets of them. Despite this, amethyst stones feature heavily in royal burials from this period, and the Egyptians' love for the purple crystal continued right up until the end of the age of the pharaohs. Cleopatra supposedly wore an amethyst ring during her relationships with Mark Antony and Julius Caesar, which may have inspired the Roman elite to adopt this purple gem for World War II. At the same time, the Greeks really leaned into the idea that the stone could ward off drunkenness. They carved wine goblets out of amethyst and held the crystals in their mouths while drinking in the hopes of staying sober and serious. But it was more than just a hangover avoider. Amethyst was found in a Bronze Age Mycenaean warrior's tomb as well, suggesting it was also considered valuable for its own sake. Continuing into the Middle Ages, in Europe, priests and bishops often wore amethyst as a symbol of faith and piety, although that association with power probably wasn't lost on their congregations either. And during the reign of Catherine the Great in 18th century Russia, high-quality, dark-colored amethyst was discovered in the Ural Mountains. Catherine reportedly collected as much of the purple gemstone as possible and had thousands of pieces set into jewelry. Clearly, our love for the purple gem stood the test of time. But starting around 200 years ago, amethyst suddenly became a gem that everyone could aspire to own. One of the things that have made amethyst so valuable is its rarity. That changed around 1820, when immigrants from Germany colonized the southern tip of Brazil. As they built their settlements in the area now known as Rio Grande do Sul, they discovered huge deposits of amethyst in the basaltic bedrock. Around 130 million years ago, lava flooded over what is now southern Brazil. This basaltic lava solidified into dense black rock, rich in iron and with lots of gas pockets trapped within it, which proved to be the perfect place for amethyst to grow. The colonists mined the amethyst with hand tools and later heavy machinery. They shipped the crystals back to Germany, where they were cleaned up and sold. In time, Rio Grande do Sul became the biggest producer of amethyst in the world. The region now exports some 400 tons of the crystal per month. This isn't the only place in Brazil that has been pouring amethyst into the market either. In the northern part of the country, another amethyst deposit dates back nearly 2 billion years, but was only discovered in the 1980s. And some of the finest amethyst crystals in the world have been found in Brazilian river deposits, weathered out of the mountains. The story goes that these gems were discovered during a boar hunt in 1979. After the boar disappeared into a crack in the rock, hunters started digging in pursuit, but soon found a much better prize in the shape of a large amethyst crystal. Thanks to this huge influx of amethyst from Brazil, as well as other finds in Canada, Zambia, and Uruguay, the purple mineral has now been downgraded from a precious cardinal gem to a semi-precious stone. It's still as beautiful as it ever was, but not so rare that it's prohibitively expensive, which is handy for us because it happens to be this month's Roxbox mineral. Every month, we send our SciShow Roxbox subscribers a stone or fossil with a story to tell. If you'd like to join, visit scishow.rocks or click the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
Precious stones, semi-precious stones, gemstones, crystals. They are physically beautiful, they catch the light, they are rare, they are gathered from the landscape, mined from the earth. They have been used throughout human history for devotion and decoration. This object here is a rock crystal amulet container. The container could have been worn as a pendant, attached to the cord, hung around the neck, or attached to the person somewhere, something to keep with you, to protect you. This pendant is made up of 2 pieces of rock crystal, which is a microcrystalline mineral that is quartz. The ancient sources that talk about the generation formation of rock crystal describe the mineral as being made of an elemental combination of both air and water. The word forms the word crystal is actually an ancient Greek word for ice. If you undo the screw loop, hold the container together at the top, open the container up, you see that inside the two separate pieces of rock crystal, which have been hollowed out from the inside with 3 different cavities. And inside the cavities would have been placed crayfish eyes to treat any ailments around vision and sight. It's not just what went in the container that had this medicinal function. Rock crystal was closely associated with healing eye problems during the period that this was made. Jewelry was worn for its protective powers, but also as a sign of faith, and rock crystal has symbolic association in the devotional context as well. Rock crystal reliquary cross was made at some point during the 17th century, probably in southern Europe. In these two objects, there's a link between the transparency of the rock crystal as a material and its ability to aid vision in different ways. Because rock crystal is transparent with a highly magnifying quality, it was used to house relics that would have been really difficult to see, things like fingernails, saints' tears. The pieces of relics here, we don't know what they are, but they're very small pieces wrapped in paper. This is a really precious object that has been finely crafted with colourful enameled gold on each end of the cross. It has a pendant loop at the top that again signifies that it probably would have been worn to protect with the person. The connection between the purity of the stone, the cosmos, and the divine is definitely something that the maker would have considered when crafting objects that was used as a container for the most sacred of holy matter. People have been studying stones since ancient times and trying to list their different qualities, magic powers, or different purposes. Following the studies of ancient authors, books listing the power of stones became really popular. These types of books came to be known as lapidaries. We use the word lapidary still today. A lapidarist is someone that works with stone, that cuts it and carves it. In our collections, we have a lapidary book that was popular in 17th century England. It was written by Thomas Nichols, a Cambridge scholar, published in 1652. This type of book was a precursor to the type of encyclopedia that was supposed to give you information very systematically about each of the stones. Helpfully included in this book is a fold-out diagram which helps you identify stones by asking you a series of questions. Is the stone small or is it great? Is it rare or is it common? And then you follow the options through to the stone chart until you find these lists of stones. Garnet, ruby, diamond, all of the types of stones that were used for decorative purposes. The symbolic, magical, and therapeutic properties of different gemstones were often incorporated into the design of the jewellery. This pendant was made in England between 1540 and 1560. You can see here the three tools selected for the design. The green tool at the top is the peridot, within the stone is a hessonite garnet, and the blue stone hanging is a sapphire. This pendant would have been worn around the neck, and we know that it had a protective function because if we turn it over and look at the back, there is an inscription here around the peridot that was thought to ward off epilepsy. There is an inscription too which invokes the god, which also would have been a form of protection. These stones haven't been fully backed with gold, which allows some contact between the stone and the wearer's skin, making the pendant as protective as possible. The maker and the owner of this pendant would have chosen stones for specific reasons, and it may well have been that they would have consulted understand stones would be. If we look up sapphire in the laboratory book, see what it says. You can see here, chapter 10. It tells us about the sapphire tincture, that is the way it looks, its colour. It tells us where it might be found. And it also tells us its different names, the different kinds of sapphires that are found. And furthermore, it tells us about its different faculties and properties. Sapphire was thought to be useful jewels to wear, to chase, and the physical property of the stone for medicinal therapeutic purpose is listed here as helping to prevent the erection of the penis. So, the purest standard, promote chastity.
Right now, we are about 2 hours outside of the Detroit area in Coldwater, Michigan. Looking for an individual here. Would you be Terry? Well, sir, I'm just here to ask you a couple questions. Do you know what this is regarding? You don't? Okay. This is a dating profile here. Absolutely not, ma'am. This is using chat hearing. Was it Google Chat that you were using? There you go. Okay, there's Google Chat.
I guess tell me about how this started.
Yeah, so we were on this dating app called it's called Date Me.
Contact Detective Sergeant and my Detective Sergeant.
Coldwater story that is unlike anything. It really is mental. His chat log is definitely of the utmost disturbing chat logs I've ever seen. At one point in the chat log, he did mention that he wanted to take the decoy out to the woods and our work, the decoy. Reading that message just sent chills down my spine. I had never heard anything like that in all of my days. This was a very, very disturbing individual. So because we figured that he was already on edge, we did proceed with caution when we went to have a chat. At some point in the chat log, Terry did send his actual home address to the decoy in hopes that she would get a ride over to them to come and visit. So, naturally, the next day, we took a ride out to Coldwater to visit. Now, keep in mind, we had to censor a ton of this video just to make it with YouTube's guidelines. But the full, uncensored version of this video, as well as some others, will be available on skeeterdownloads.com. What's your name? Jane? No, Melissa? No. That's what you do by Discord, is it? No, thanks. Potential predator here. His name is Harry. He's 35 years old in Coldwater, Michigan. And as you can see here, he doesn't look all the way there. His face here kind of resembles a Squidward's house, I think. SpongeBob. Now, we sent a lot of questions to this decoy that he's been chatting over. online for the past 2-3 weeks or so.
Oh joy! No power! For the revival of the unfittest! Ammunition! My fame has preceded me! No more dogs! for blood! The flames of the damned! More score! More time to play with my pretty ones! They are held outside for a little while now. She sounds like a sweet little specimen. can the doctor be so poor? Watch them all explode so beautifully! I'd prefer a Hefeweizen with some lemon. Doctor! Here's his Schweinhund! They will submit to the darkness. Yes! How many can I play this at once? I have no ammunition. Why has everyone abandoned the doctor? Don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of the doctor. Without bullets, I'll have to resort to stabbing! Oh, but they wouldn't give the music. Yes, my children, gather round. Let me smell the delicate flesh. It has no legs, but still move. Interesting. I put my straw in it, and I take it up. Are you bored? It's time to run! Yes! Yeah! Yeah! Die! Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? Good! The doctor sends his regards. How could they be running on ammo?
He says hi. Well, it's literally here, man. Terry says hi. He'll just say where he from. Well, man, the fact that the girl does disclose that she's in. Ma'am, if you could scroll up a little, the girl does mention there that she is. And Terry continues a conversation with her.
Oh, that's her fault. She's gonna be.
It's her fault? How is it her fault?
That's her fault. Yeah.
How's it her fault, man?
Because it's from Gmail.
No, that was on a dating app. That Terry is on. I have everything here.
I got from all the way. She don't live around here.
She may not live around here, but he did message her on that app. This is his dating profile here. And we have pictures. Well, ma'am, I'm just trying to show you. The conversation did continue on an app called Google Chat. You can see right there they exchanged email addresses. And Terry did. You're on the dating app as well? You're on dating?
No, I'm on Google Chat, but I just delete them. They had to delete it.
Well, yeah, but there was never anyone to discuss, ma'am. It's, Terry was having... Well, if I could explain, ma'am, Terry was having a very sexually charged conversation with a girl that told him she was... I'm sure you can find the Google Chat there, too. If you go to the Gmail app and go to the chat section, I'm sure you'll see the conversation there. Yeah, no, he has... Ma'am, he was definitely conversing with her. He gave her the address to come to. Last week it was. He invited her to come to your home address here. She doesn't, ma'am. She doesn't. There was discussion of her getting a ride out here. I understand, ma'am, but Terry did invite her out here after having a very sexually charged conversation. He sent a picture of his, which I'm sure you can verify. Well, man, just so you have further proof, with this in this picture here, do you recognize the background of this image that he sent? Doesn't look like your son's picture. Okay. You don't recognize the background here, or speed, or anything like that either? Okay. So it wasn't him? You don't think so? Okay. No, but in the last few weeks, he's been on this tablet having... I mean, you saw it there. It's on the app. I found the profile of the girl. He's having a sexually charged conversation with her on the dating app. And it went to Google Chat at some point. I'm sure I can pull it up. Did you want me to... I could probably pull it up there now. Okay. Do you have the Gmail app up? If you go through the apps. That might be it, what you're looking at there.
Esther, James, Alexandra,
Yeah, but he deleted it, he blocked her. But we have all the information. I can show you here. I can show you on I can show you on my phone. I do have the conversation pulled up here. We have access to the conversation here. He deletes a lot of messages. He blocked the girl. Terry, what's your email? You don't have it. He has to have it. I can push the connection out here. Terry, what is your email? You don't know by heart. But you do have an email. Just to further prove to you, ma'am, that he was in fact having the conversation. I'm just trying to make you see things clearly. Okay. Yeah, he does have a couple different ones. He did message the girl on another one as well. I don't have that one right here in particular. Yeah, I'm just not getting a connection out here, so I just can't find his email directly. But I guarantee you he does have an email. So, ma'am, if it wasn't him, I mean, how did we get? What is his dating profile? What is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what he does and what he don't do.
Right. So, to my point, you may not know what he's doing on this tablet. Her name is. There isn't a date me up. I just I literally showed you, and you seemed to just dismiss it. There is. I literally just showed you. Okay. It's off. Yeah, he said a lot of things. I mean, he did mention that he wanted to, this girl. So he wanted to take her in the woods and have. But, But man, how would I have these chat logs here if it wasn't your son Terry having a conversation? And how would I have his access? You don't know. Do you think it's just magic coming out? Ma'am, if you scroll up, I showed you her name. Not on top, no. Do you want me to show you again, ma'am?
Sandra?
Nope. You can go down a little bit. I had it pulled up there. Do you want me to pull it up again? Okay. Right there, see it? Yep, there you go. This girl, he was having a sexually charged conversation with you, so she does tell him that she's up.
There ain't nothing bad about it. Can we talk?
There's nothing bad about it.
Please give me another chance. How it comes. What's wrong with that?
Oh, do you want to scroll up a little bit?
Do not.
It just has to load a little bit. There you go.
How are you going?
Okay. It really gets. He said a lot of stuff on the Google chat. He does.
We'll do that. Yeah, fuck that.
Ma'am, can you is there Gmail on the phone? Gmail. So if you go to the chat, you almost have it there. You just have to go to Gmail again. Not Google, that's Google. Just the Gmail app. Then we have if you can scroll up. So you must be using the chat app then. Were you using Google Chat? Carrie, was it Google Chat that you were using? There you go. Oh, there's Google Chat. You must have deleted it. When did you delete it? You deleted it, so it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, well, he's just saying he deleted it. So it was on there at one point? Maybe if we could just go here and search.
I don't have time. I gotta go.
Oh, you don't? Okay. I don't know what further proof you would need, but we do have everything here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it would be best if we just wait because we do have the officers are around to address the situation. Okay? So we just have to see what they say and we're going to have to see what we're going to have to go from there. Okay. I think you're an adult, you can make your own decisions. If I could suggest something, it would be best if we wait for the police to arrive. Otherwise, they're going to be here at another time when it's more inconvenient. I think we should just get everything out of the way and talk to them and make it just a little more. No, you're not. No. Yeah, that's well, no, we're just going to talk. You understand it's illegal, and you committed a crime by doing it. So yeah, we're just going to talk. Just come on back. So it's not right there. If I could talk to ma'am, if I could just say, it would most likely be best if we just wait for the authorities to arrive, because it would be best if we just waited for the authorities to arrive, because we do have to. Oh no, I didn't say it was, but the authorities do have to address the situation, ma'am. So if I could just suggest that we all just kind of wait it out here. That works. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, Terry, we don't mean to. Yeah. Just here to talk. You're gonna stay here? Yeah. Because we're just gonna wait for them to get here. Just think it'd be best. We don't want them to be like looking for you or anything like that. It just gets worse from there, you know. Well, Terry, I mean, is there anything else you have to say here about the situation? Wasn't a very wise choice, huh? You're gonna do a thing like this again? I hope not, Terry. And honestly, the challenge here, I think you might need help. I think you're a good guy, but maybe it's a mistake. Do you go to any counseling or anything like that? Terry, I think maybe that would be the next step. I think you really need to seek some help. Yeah, they could probably direct you to a counselor or therapy, something like that. Because we don't want anything like this happening out here. Ma'am, we're all just... I think it'd just be best if we just waited out here, ma'am. I think the police might want that when they get here. They'll probably leave the tablet now. Oh, ma'am, I think we should just leave the tablet alone until the authorities can here to take it with you. Ma'am, I think we should at least leave the tablet, though. They're gonna wanna look at it. Okay. Well. What the... Yeah. Wasn't that your tablet, Terry? Why'd you give it to me? Okay. Just because the authorities are most likely gonna want to take a look at that. Oh, you've been living here, Terry? For a while. Okay. From here originally? Okay. I guess it's best we just wait it out. Wait for them to get here. Where's your mom going, Terry? The store. There's a store right around here. How far is it? Is it Walmart? She's going to Walmart. Do you usually go with her grocery shopping? Help her with the carts and stuff like that? What's this over here? Is this like a junkyard or something? Okay. You need to live next to a junkyard, whenever you need something, just go get it. What do you do for work? Love and cut down trees. Where do you do that at? That is out here. Okay. Who pays you? Oh. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, well, they can probably direct you to, some sort of, counseling or therapy. Someone that you can talk to I guess, sort of just get your head right. You just have maybe a few problems, and I think you're a good guy, and you just maybe made a mistake. Yeah. So I think you need to just talk to someone, just get some help, Guys, we just want to help you. That's it. No, they're probably just gonna give you like a card or something, and they're gonna make sure that you get to a counselor or something like that. But you'll be in contact with them. Oh, perfect. You can still read it, Terry. We're just going to have word with this gentleman. How you doing? So yes, we run this sort of sting operation. We catch online predators. This gentleman here, his name is Terry, had a very sexually charged conversation online with our with the decoy. Yeah, I think so. Probably just came back from Walmart. She took the tablet that he was having all the conversation on. He did at some point invite the girl after a sexually charged conversation to his home address here. So he just figured we'd come out and see if he's actually here. Once we confirm that, we figured we'd give you guys a call to hand over the information and see if there's anything you guys want to do. If you want, you can look through the chat log here. You send graphic images. Absolutely.
So I guess tell me about how this all started.
Yeah, so we were on this this dating app called it's called Date Me. We exchanged emails. It went over to the Google Chat app, and that's where I was having the conversation with the individual for the last 3 weeks or so.
Is this a copy? Is this something that we can?
You can have that. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
We'll definitely take it and look through it. So, got your call. Contacted my detective sergeant and my detective sergeant. Essentially, what I'm being told at this point is the AG's decision that if it's not a law enforcement-based investigation, there's not much we can do about it. Essentially, that's kind of what I'm kind of sorting through this, kind of what we can do to kind of help and sort this situation. I'll kind of look into it whatever way I can, but with the AG's decision, that's kind of okay. I guess, is there anything that you can add that might be beneficial? It's all in that box.
I have more screenshots of the conversation in the drive folder. I could email those over if you wanted to. So,
it's kind of what we're bound by. The decision, and what both of those advise might be something you can contact the FBI about.
Okay.
I'll still take it and look through it
for sure. Oh, if I just had the binder,
yeah,
absolutely.
For the FBI. Let me see if I can find one. I'll do some digging. Let me go talk to Terry over here. So, has there been any issues since you've been out here?
There's a little
like that.
Except maybe between him and his mom. Because he's feeling a little, I guess, a little closer.
Trying to sort out the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And she did take the tablet that he was conversing on. I don't know if she still has it. She took it with her. Admitted to deleting everything, yeah.
But from your understanding, it's a Google tablet.
It's I don't know what kind specifically, but it is a tablet he was talking on an app called Google Chat.
I'm assuming you've got to start the conversation. Let me get you a number.
Okay.
You guys want to jump in your car? You have your ID on you?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do. You call me, and I'll take yours as well. You guys are you guys working with as a company, or you guys?
As more as a production company.
And I'll get you at least and I'll see if I can find it.
Absolutely.
Just so we can keep it up. Like I said, I want to get people like this off the street.
Of course.
Yeah. That's the direction that I received.
Yeah. Okay.
That's because of the chain of custody issues with the courts.
I see.
The Attorney General decided that that was a situation where their opinion was that that's not something we can do.
I see. Okay.
I guess look it up if this is something you guys are continuing.
I guess it's different areas because we've been to other states, LA, even in Traverse City, Michigan. Here, they took our evidence. They were able to make an arrest and all that. Just based on what we had, I guess it's just different jurisdictions.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue.
Okay.
Let me. Do you have any questions?
Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Let me write your names down, and I'm going to go chat with them anyways.
Okay. So, shut. Okay. So we're going to go. Let's wait in the car here. Now that the officers are here. Alright, boys. We are back in the car right now. We're just outside Terry's residence here. He's sitting right over there. I don't know if you get a shot on that, but he's sitting over there on the porch. And so there's Terry over there sitting on the porch. He's going to have a conversation with the kind officers here. We got the state police out here addressing the situation. What they said, it sounds like there's not going to be much they can really do, being that, we're not law enforcement in different jurisdictions. But, the usual. But they're, you never know. But, they're going to talk to Terry a little bit here, kind of see where we're going. Either way, Terry has officially been called.
Alright. Thanks, sir.
There you go.
So this would be the police report number I got you to. They can do something for you. Just love for something to be done.
For sure, yeah.
That's why I contacted them. So, if there's something they can do, yeah, we appreciate all the help. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, good. Well, thank you. And that is the terrible tale of Terry. Gosh, was that shit. I just can't believe his mother defended him until the very end. I just had to see and like it. I mean, sure, Terry may have been a little on the spectrum, but even he admitted himself that he full-on knew that what he was doing was wrong. And if you ask me, they might have taken the phrase, keep it in the family, a little too literal, if you know what I mean. I have some questions there. I just hope that Terry can learn a valuable lesson from what occurred on this day. But either way, right now, it's within the hands of the law. And may God have mercy on his soul. We know that there are many other predators out there, just like Terry, and if they happen to fall into our investigation, they will be discovered, and they will ultimately get skeeted, just as Terry did on this day. This here is a gentleman that is known by the name Christopher, but when he's chatting online with Cupcakes, he prefers to be called Daddy. I mean, he's really just such an alpha Chad, Every woman is great, really. And if you look really closely, he highly resembles Dr. Robotnik from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It's really a good look. I'm really jealous. At one point, Christopher was planning to meet up with this Cupcake, but then he decided to ghost her. So, naturally, we went to his house to ask him a few questions. And lo and behold, it turned out that Christopher had actually seen my videos before. And so had his son.
I've seen you on TV before. I've seen you.
You see my video? Really? On Facebook.
Why are you?
Oh, we're just... Who would you be in relation?
I'm his son.
You're a son?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we've never had this happen in any previous investigation before, so it was rather surprising. Now, Christopher said that he had come across my videos on Facebook. And speaking of which, did you know that you can find a lot of videos on my Facebook that aren't here on YouTube? You should really take the time to go check it out. If Christopher found my videos on Facebook entertaining, I'm sure that you would too. And of course, this was a legal activity, so we make sure to involve law enforcement every step of the way. Now, Christopher is really his own character. No one can really tell his story better than he can, so let's go ahead and get into the interview. Alright, boys, two boys, Steve Hands, back at it again. Today, we are rolling through the hood of Toledo, Ohio. As you can see, this neighborhood is rather down bad, but it's not quite as down bad as this monstrosity here. His name is Christopher. As you can see in this picture, he does have quite the long, thick, amber alert mustache. Looks like a bit of a Dr. Robotnik right here. And on his hat here, he's repping the Jaguars. And it's funny because the Jaguar is, a predator of the jungle. So who would have thought? He does have a very explicit conversation with the decoy. Some key points that he said was, "Hey, it's Chris from ED, aka Daddy." He says that he wants the girl to ride his mustache, quote unquote, rub that cat on his mustache. So you gotta wonder what he could have meant by that. But he was supposed to meet with us today at a local Walmart, but he ghosted. So now we pulled up his address, and we're right outside his house, about to go have a word with him. What up, boys? It's your boy, Skeet Hansen. We're out here in the beautiful city of Toledo, Ohio. Let's take a look around, take a gander. This is where we're at. I mean, in this gas station here, they had beef jerky literally locked up. We had to, snatch it off the thing just to, get to the jerky. They're locking up beef jerky. So we got some jerky thieves around here. What the fuck is that guy looking at? But yeah, that just kind of goes to show you the sort of area that we're in. And it speaks miles to, the quality of life that we have here. This guy's name is Christopher. Yeah, he kind of resembles Eggman from the Sonic series, if you remember him. Total thick amber alert mustache here. And we did try rolling up on him before, but he didn't answer the door. And he had a pretty encrypted conversation with the decoy. So yeah, this is attempt number 2 at rolling up on him. Hopefully, when we knock on his door, he answers this time. We're about 3 minutes away from his house here. So yeah, let's get this popping, and hopefully we can have a conversation with him this time.
He's got a gap. That mustache came with
Now we are now approaching Christopher's neighborhood. Take another gander, take a look around. That door's open. Someone's there. This might be him. That's him. That's him right there. Yeah, that's him 100%. Alright, keep me good.
Oh my god,
that's him. It's 100%. How you doing, sir? Good. Would you be a Christopher? Christopher, how's it going? I'm Skeet Hansen. How's it going? Skeet Hansen Predatory Investigation Unit. If I could just ask you a couple questions, sir. Would this be your a picture of your profile in the Meet Me?
I haven't been on there in months.
You haven't been on there in months. Do you remember the last time you were on there? 6 months. Well, according to my reports here, Christopher, you were on there in the last few weeks or so. This is what it looks like here. Do you recall talking to anyone on there recently in the last few weeks? No? Because I do have reports here of a conversation that you did have with a, looks like a female. Oh, I don't know what this happened. That doesn't ring a bell to you. Okay, well, your number would be the...
Yeah, that's my phone.
That's your phone number. Well, we have these messages here. They were coming from this phone number. And it looks like from the conversation here, the person that she was doing.
Oh, I don't know anything about this messages.
You don't?
Yeah, someone must have cloned my phone.
Someone cloned your phone, you think? I didn't know that was possible, Christopher.
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, I mean, you message her first and say, it's Chris from Meet Me, a.k.a. Daddy. And she immediately tells you that she's... And as you can see, the conversation just goes on from there. So, Christopher, do you maybe want to be a little more truthful here?
I didn't talk to no one on Meet Me.
You didn't talk to anyone on Meet Me?
6 months, I haven't talked to no one.
Well, Christopher, if you look here, this is your profile.
Okay, yeah.
And this was more recent than 6 months ago. This was roughly the last month or so.
I don't know how that got in there. People steal photos off there. People steal all kinds of... There's all kinds of big profiles on there.
Okay. So, how do you explain the phone number? The message is coming from your phone number. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to, get things straight here. I mean, after she tells you she's... Well, from the looks, whoever was talking to you with the number, which seems to be you, you asked her if she's ever had a penis. Why would it doesn't ring a bell to you? You say you look much older. Is your mom hot too? This is all within the last month, Christopher.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You really don't remember any of this. Okay.
I've seen you on TV before.
You see my... Really? My Facebook. And you've seen my videos and you still decided to partake in a conversation like this.
Nope.
You did? Okay. Well, Christopher, how do you explain it coming from your phone? I'm just trying to get things straight here. You asked why she got on the dating app. You say, I'm sure you can find a guy that could treat you right, but I don't know these days.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
At all. Do you have your phone on you by chance?
No, I'm not lost.
It's lost. Okay.
Yeah.
So if this number were to be...
Yeah,
well, Christopher, if I just... Like I said, it's harassment. Now, this instance occurred in the middle of the winter, and it's a good thing that no one had a slip and fall on the ice. But if they did, they might be covered legally by today's video sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. With over 1,000 attorneys operating nationwide, Morgan & Morgan is America's biggest injury law firm. So if you're thinking that size doesn't matter, think again. Thousands of people all across the globe are injured every single day. And if it ever happens to you, your injury could be $40,000. And if you become their client, Morgan & Morgan will fight for you until the very end to get you the payout that you deserve. And if you think that they settle for lowball offers, you might want to rethink them. Just in the past few months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of over $12 million in Florida, $26 million in Philadelphia, and $6.8 million in New York. And did I mention that their fee is absolutely free unless you win? Starting a claim with Morgan & Morgan really couldn't be easy. You can head on over to forthepeople.com/Skeeter to get your claim started today. Hi, dude. We were just trying to have I just want to have a conversation here with Christopher.
For what?
Sexually charged conversation he was having online with the girl that did tell him she was... I have the whole chat log here. It's all coming from his phone number, and it's...
Jesse, is that one?
Yeah. Yeah, you can look through it if you want. Absolutely. And who would you be in relation?
I'm his son.
Your son?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, he did mention that he had a son. I mean, if you could, if you want to look, it's a little windy. I mean, here we have a, dating profile of Christopher. If you could see that's his phone number clearly right here. The girl does mention that she is. When he mentions he can get in big trouble. Like, in pictures, he says you make it look much older. He asks if the mom is hot too. He asks the girl if she's ever had a dent in her mouth. That's done. You don't understand. Well, Christopher, I mean, you see that it's coming from your phone. That's what I'm trying to, make clear. Yes, if she's watched. Yeah. At some point, you asked her to ride your face, I believe, somewhere in the chat log here. You sent a picture of your dog. You say, just grind it on my face and I'll do the rest. Ride my face. You say you'll do most of the work.
His conversation, not someone with his data, using it. And
using his phone number?
Yeah, that's possible,
to use his actual phone number.
I actually work with a software company. I don't know what's the information, what's going on.
But I don't think there's no way that the text messages could come from his phone number that's registered to him and it not be his phone that's sending the messages. I mean, really. And again, Christopher, well, Christopher, that's not up to me. I'm here to have a conversation with you. But
I'm asking you, what are you guys here for? What are you here for? You taking me to jail or not?
I just want to have a conversation with you.
I'm asking you right now, am I going to jail for what this is or not?
Well, Christopher, did you have this conversation?
No, I did not have this conversation. But am I being accused of it and you guys have quote-unquote evidence, then take me to jail.
Okay.
That is my phone number, yes.
Is your phone number?
Yes, that's my profile pic that I had months ago, 6 months ago.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to verify that. And I just wanted to ask Christopher, why partake in a conversation like this?
I did not partake in that conversation.
You didn't?
No.
But how do we explain it coming from your phone number, Christopher?
Can't people on dating sites, can't they? So we're talking about myself. Can they put the phone number in and still? I'm pretty sure they can clone phone number or SIM card or something. I don't know if they'd have to physically have the phone. I don't know.
But Christopher, what reason would someone have to use your phone number and do this sort of thing?
I don't know. I have ex-girlfriends that hate me. The one girl, I told her I had cancer, and she didn't give up. It's like, oh, you know what? Go ahead and die. So I said, okay, cool.
I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. It's terrible. But, I mean, I don't think that would warrant someone having a conversation like this with a
I don't know. Seems obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there was talks of starting an OnlyFans, but she can't do it until she. And then you end up saying that she can do the feet pic thing. Then you ask for a picture of her feet, or are you sort of a foot person? No. Okay. You say you understand temptation always gets the best of people. It seemed like it got the best of you here, Christopher.
I guess so. I guess it did.
It seems like it. I mean, is it safe to say that you were having this conversation?
Yeah, I was having a conversation with him.
You were?
100%.
Okay. But why would
people lie? People say they're 34. People say they're.
So you thought she was lying?
A lot of girls lie on the app, especially when they're already lying right off the rip.
But
yeah.
Wait, dating girls says you have to use it, right? Technically,
no, but you can act like you're and then try to bait people, or act like you're and bait people, which is the legal age for Michigan.
Well, there was no talks of anything.
I know, I understand that, but who knows? Maybe she was almost trying. She was lying, saying she was. I don't know. All I know is if you're gonna take the job, take the job. Not, I'm leaving. Going home.
Well, Christopher, it's not up to me to take you to jail. We won't have to let the authorities know.
Let the authorities know. Bye. Have a great day, sir.
Okay, well, they're gonna come here. Well, Christopher, do you have anything else to say here about the conversation? Or yes, if she wants to see your blank.
I don't.
You don't want to see what? Oh, no. You didn't actually. You know, I mean, I couldn't get to it, but you sent a, you know, it looks like a meme here. Do you want to see my blank? Yeah, most likely. Okay, well, I guess that's, you know, all we're going to be able to get out of, Christopher here. And he did end up, owning up to it. How's it going, Christopher?
I'm going to get my dinner, man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we were just, but can I ask you about this meme you sent here about with the Homer Simpson and his that you sent here? The meme says, "I want to make you scream." So it's right here, Christopher. All right, Christopher. Well, safe travels. Hey, Jason. My hands were literally frozen. I feel like he's not going back for a while.
Oh, no, he's not. He's still running, bro. He's a hard 39.
I'm saying, seriously. I wasn't expecting to know who I was. Either of them. Probably.
I mean, there's Marco. Okay. I mean, actually, there's no pizza right over there. Yeah, there's one might be there. Pizza.
Yeah. It probably is.
The whole wall is not
no. Okay. Just how you see my Facebook.
Yeah, him.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, it's not.
No, this is it.
This is a hat. It's not the cat.
This is him, bro. We caught up to him. What the?
He wouldn't have food.
I wonder what he got.
Join the pizza party.
Yeah. I probably won't keep him. I just want to see what he does. Awesome. Where's here to get gas?
Oh my god, this looks. He got the.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Heavy. He's falling off. Christopher, I just want to have a conversation.
That's look, Reese, I'll let you know you've been seated before. You know what's funny? If he does have food, it's gonna get cold. He keeps it up.
Christopher.
Did you get pizza?
Christopher, if I could just ask one more question. Okay, I had to let you know you just. I had to let you know you've been skated in 4K. Alright, boys, that's all we're gonna get out of it. I guess we're gonna have to, let
We can't properly celebrate people. Probably gotta go get tipsy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a different outcome than we were expecting. It gets better, boys. Gotcha, just chilling.
Imagine if they just like 2 weeks ago.
That's okay.
He's right over there. Yeah, sure. Ain't nothing else to listen. They're probably watching the game. They're gonna be pissed. Why you rolling up like that? Listen up right over here.
How you doing? Good. We were gonna make a report, but we didn't know it was we. Okay. How you doing, sir? So we were going to report an individual who lives right over there, literally around the corner, having a conversation online with we thought to be a female. We did just have a conversation with him in person. He went in the house, basically denied everything. The full chat about his dating profile, phone number.
Charges brought against him?
As far as this, not that I know of. We're basically just a privately owned and operated organization. We just wanted to confirm that he was there, have a little bit of a conversation with him, see if he would fess up to anything, that we were going to turn it over to the police force, as we always do. And we just saw you guys chilling over here, so we figured we'd just bring it to your attention here straight up. If you want to look through this chat log here, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, that's kind of.
I can tell you, if you go over there and you knock and he wants to talk to you, that's fine.
Yeah, which we talked to. Okay. Now he doesn't.
Like, if he doesn't have charge brought against him, obviously I can't go over and grab him, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Give me a second, let me get my contacts. We have the unit.
Okay.
Specialized in this stuff.
I see.
Their contact you get in touch with them.
Yeah, something like that would be great.
He's just kind of filling me in.
Oh, for sure.
Calling our detective bureau right now.
Okay.
See what they have to say about it. What you guys do? What do you guys?
Yeah, we're basically like a production company on the YouTube. It goes on a YouTube channel under the name of Ger3mjdkwUsUfmkW, and that's sort of my online persona. Okay. That's where you'll probably see this in the future. Okay. But yeah, we went over there, had a conversation with him. He basically denied everything. His son came out. He fessed up at the end. They both had seen my work online, so I was wondering why he would partake in a conversation like this to begin with. His son was there. He was trying to figure out what was going on. He said that his phone was cloned, and that's how the messages were coming from his actual phone number that's tied to his address. So, yeah, so I just had a couple questions for him to see like what he would say about this. He was planning to meet up with the girl. I believe it was in Hastings, but then he canceled and ghosted. However, we still have a very friendly conversation online. It's just a lot of stuff in here.
You don't let me ask why he's talking to the detective or whatever. How do you go about finding this contact? What's the process?
Yeah, so if you look here, this is an app called Maybe. It's a dating app, basically. We just set up a profile on there with a young looking girl and wait for people to message the account. This individual did, and then...
Good work, guys. Thank you. We'll let you know.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Where is he? He's chilling with his door open and everything. He's watching. Well, it's probably closed now. He's in there watching.
If you catch him now, you get a slice of pizza.
Yeah, he just he wants to get food, and he came back, brought up pizza, and yeah.
Give me that. Okay. That's that deals with that.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Be sure to send him an email. Can we put the dog? Yeah, sounds nice. The YouTube channel is called Ger3m. If you type in Skeeter on YouTube, it'll come up Ger3m. Alright, officers, thank you very much. Same. Okay. Hold that. Okay. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Christopher, aka Daddy. Really, it's quite the memorable character, isn't it? It's unfortunate that we interrupted his viewing of the football game this day, but this just had to be addressed. You really got to feel bad for his son in this instance. You never know. Maybe sometime soon Christopher will be scrolling his feed on Facebook and see himself featured on the front page. After we reported the incident to law enforcement, they did say that they would report it to their detective bureau and see what could be done from there. For now, all we can do is wait and see what happens. But even if nothing ends up happening to Christopher on the legal side of things, I just hope that he can learn a valuable lesson from this instance. We all know that there are many, many other individuals out there like Christopher, and if they happen to fall into our investigation, they will be discovered, and they'll ultimately get scanned, just as Christopher did on this day. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this episode of The Steve Predator. I've been your host, Steve Hansen. Thank you, and good night.
top story, the reign of Dr. Disrespect continues as more and more victims come forward with damning allegations. Later on in life, a victim will come on Ski TV News to use their side of the story. Meanwhile, big-time YouTuber Cody Code has not addressed the allegations against him, despite being pressed by his massive social media. The situation has absolutely exploded ever since Charlie being visually disgusted. We'll touch more on this story as we go. In other news, the woman who was thrown out of the Detroit sea for being promiscuous with various different animals in a number of different ways has reportedly just given birth to a baby panda bear. Experts are dumbfounded. Biologists across the globe are scrambling to figure out how this is even remotely possible. And hold on, wait, I think I'm getting something here. I have breaking news. Our reporter Steve G is currently in the field. Apparently, there is a man going to a Walmart supercenter to get a cupcake. Skater, could you fill us in on what is going on?
That's right, Q. I am outside of a Walmart supercenter right now where most people might come in to grab some sporting goods or maybe hit the grocery section and get a nice big zucchini for some delicious zucchini bread that they're making. But today is a little different because today we have a man coming to this very Walmart to get a cupcake. Now, a lot of people know what that means, but for those of our viewers who don't, you can refer back to the EDP situation that happened a few years back. You know, really just nasty, nasty stuff. You know, and lately, all kinds of big-name influencers and celebrities have also had allegations brought against them where they were trying to get cupcakes. So they say. I mean, you've got Drake, Diddy, Dr. Disrespect, as of recently. The list really just goes on, and it's a terrible thing that these people are doing. We're just doing a story about the men who come into stores like this trying to meet maybe have you heard of that happening? Yeah. What's your input on that?
I think it's sick.
It is really sick, man. Have you had it happen in this store specifically?
Yeah.
How many times has that happened? Wow. And what happened in that situation?
The guy went to jail.
The guy went to jail. Wow. Well, hopefully the same thing happens here tonight, because tonight there may be someone coming to the store to get a cupcake. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah. And it's really just shocking. The individual who's going to be coming here today, his name is Tim, and he's 52 years old. He said a lot of questionable things within his chat log, very inappropriate things that we can't really get into here on live TV. But one of the key things he said was that he wanted to spread her cheeks and put his face all in between. I mean, just nasty. Another thing he said was that he wanted to party with this cupcake and let her try some ice. You can interpret that how you want to. Really just nasty work here. So right now we've got the authorities on standby. I'm also on the line with PCI, who's organizing this whole thing. So right now we're going to get back to our company vehicle and wait it out and wait for this individual to show up to get this cupcake. Stay tuned. Alright, we are heading into the Walmart here to give a lot of people this news story and ask this individual what exactly he's doing in the store. He's wearing a black t-shirt, green shorts. He's about the shoes right now. He's looking for the shoes. Here it is. That's right. We're live on Skate TV News right now. Hi, Timothy. How's it going? I'm a reporter with Skate TV News. What do you have to say about the allegations? The allegations that you're here to be for sex? Now we do have the police on standby. Tim, Tim, if you could just answer a couple questions for me. No, Tim. No, Tim, we are live on the air right now. Now, just so you know, I mean, you did say that you, Tim, you did say that you wanted to eat grass. I believe it was. No. But Tim, do you have anything to say about the allegations? If we just wanted to get a statement. Just a few words, Tim. So this would be your picture, right? Well, we do have the police on standby. If we could just have a word with you. I just want to ask you a couple questions, if that's okay. Okay. Well, why did you say that yours would be the biggest that she's ever had, Tim? You even asked if she's going to have the cops waiting. Tim, if you could just speak into the microphone first, we just can't hear you totally. You think they'll let me? You see, you do have a big, thick, Tim. Tim, do you have anything to say here? Tim, can you talk into the mic, please?
No, okay.
Why would you go to jail, Tim?
Because I'm eating.
Okay. So you admit that. Why? I mean, what was going through your head? What made you...
I don't know. I've never done this before.
Okay, this is your first time. Tim, where do we go from here? Okay. Well, let's just talk through it. You said you already said enough to go to jail in the chat log here, then you go further. You take it a step further and send a picture of your...
Yeah, stupid. What is stupid?
Okay. And you realize this is illegal, Tim. What you're here for. Okay. Yeah, we can go like around the corner or something. That's fine. We don't want everyone knowing right now. Just right here in the ladies' underwear section should be fine. Okay. Now, Tim, where is it that you're from? Is it Albion?
Yeah.
Albion. Oh, so that you drove about 45 minutes to come here.
So what's going on? Just tell me.
We're just asking you a couple questions here. It's going to be up to the police outside, but we're just having a word with you first. We just wanted to get a statement from you. Tim, it's just really what I have here is just not a good look. You even talking about party. Tim, right.
My life's...
You mentioned, now Tim, I don't want to say it too loud, but you did mention, you mentioned, well,
things to do.
yeah, but aside from that, you mentioned before?
Yes, I mentioned that too.
Is that, you're not in possession of anything right now? Okay. But you just proposing the idea to someone that's... Yeah.
My life's really...
It's just really not a good look, Tim. 10-4, do we have anything on your end? Anything else in the chat log that we need to go over? Okay. I hear you loud and clear there, Eric.
What's that?
You mentioned you were going to bring ice. You mentioned you were going to bring alcohol. Okay. Hi. How are we doing, sir?
Good.
Hi. I'm Ger with Ski TV News.
I'm not going to talk on the air. That needs to go off.
Okay. Yeah, we can step outside. That's fine. All right, sir. Thank you. All right, Tim, do you want to just step outside with us here? Okay. We'll just walk with Tim outside. Hold on 1 second there, Eric. Yeah, we'll just walk outside with you, Tim. Oh, we're trying not to. That's why I brought the boom bags. Well, you even say that you like the fact that she is, the age that she said she was. Right. Well, Tim, what about that did you like? You just said it to say it? Okay. I'm just trying to understand. Just right outside the doors here will do. By the flowers would be fine if we could just have one over here. Okay, now Tim. So there was a part that I wanted to ask you about within the chat log, where you say that you've already said enough to go to jail, and then why did you? Yeah. So that's why you took it a step further and sent the picture. Okay. Got it. And even when you say, and I quote, I'm gonna bend you over and slide it in right there, your tight little blank. I can't say it on the air. Okay.
Said everything that's gotten it done.
Okay. Oh, sheets. Okay, I just want. Okay. Okay, Tim. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're owning up to it and all that.
Call and say I can't come to work.
Well, what do you do for work?
I work for myself in construction. I'm working on a guy's house.
Working on a guy. How long have you done construction, Tim? And you're a private contractor, is it?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for? Okay. Tim, do you have kids of your own?
No.
Okay.
Where they at?
Oh, they're on the way. It's just damning evidence that we have here. Yeah, we just wonder what makes a man. And I understand. I'm just wondering, what makes a man?
No, for the last year.
Okay. Yeah. So what was that last part, Tim? Nothing ever goes your way. Okay. Sorry, you said you were not in your lifetime? That's not. We hope you don't do that. Thank you, ma'am. Good viewership support there. But Tim, now I understand you do have a dog. Okay. And how old is your dog? 2.5. Okay. But I ask this question to everyone we talk to, Tim. No discrimination. It's just, is there anything? Being that you're going to be. Was there anything funny going on with the dog? Okay. No, I just had to make sure because you'd be surprised at the things we've seen. Could you say it to the microphone?
This is my first time.
Your first time? Okay. Well, Tim, that doesn't make it any better. Right. But do you want to walk back to the Walmart because the police are going to be wanting us to be over there, Tim? Just to make it nice and easy for them to find us. Imagine he was going to drink with her and bring ice. Yeah, we did discuss that with Tim. And he said he wasn't really. You said you weren't actually going to do that, right? Bring it was alcohol and ice. I think is how you put it.
Alcohol.
You have alcohol in your van. Okay. And Tim, did you mean ice for the alcohol or a different kind of ice?
Ice for the alcohol.
Oh, he meant for the alcohol. Yes. Now I just have to know, Tim. If we weren't here today and had been here to meet you, so would you have exchanged any words with her? Or?
I would probably never talk to her and then
Okay. Well, what would you have said to her? Do you think?
Said to her.
Okay. I'm just curious. So nothing inappropriate. Yeah. But if she was here, you would have just said, hi. Okay, just hi, how are you? And then you would have just went home. Okay. I mean, we all do stupid things, Tim. We all do stupid things. They're on the way. We're just discussing everything with them. So. I hear you. You want it to be over too, Tim. Yeah, they don't want you to do a thing like this, but, here we are.
Just lost my dad.
I'm sorry to hear that. That may be one of our marks over there. Our comment over here is explaining the situation, so they have everything. Have you been to jail before or anything, Tim? Have you done just overnight stuff? Yeah, just petty crimes, stuff like that. it's just a sad thing, Tim. Also, Tim, we prefer if you just didn't take anything out of your car, just for our sake. Here, just get a drink. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm just making sure you're not grabbing a weapon or anything like that. Okay. Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, no, whatever you want. He said the ice that he was talking about was for the alcohol. Right, Tim? It was made for the alcohol. Okay. Now, Tim, I just had to ask, the picture of the ice that you sent didn't look like an ice cube, so that's why we were a little concerned. It's from a while back, so what was in that picture? What kind of ice was that? If you could just clarify, Tim, what kind of ice was that, if you could? Was it the thing you were talking about? Oh, the police or the deputies have arrived. Okay. Okay, and you described how it could be smoked and consumed, the drugs. Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll make sure we explain it to the officers.
Everyone money.
How are we doing, folks? We have, pretty much everything here. This individual's name is Tim. We had an inappropriate conversation with him. They got very sexual. He sent graphic pictures. He said he proposed having alcohol and drugs with the girl at some point, but you can see it's all right here if you would care to look. Okay, and he's here at this Walmart tonight to pick up this girl and do the things that he talked about within this chat log. Okay. If you want to take this. Yeah, go ahead. And folks, this here is a prime example of what you do not do on a Tuesday night at a Walmart. I mean, if you look at Tim over there, it just really looks like he's going through it with law enforcement. He was really it seemed like he felt pretty ashamed about what he was doing. But this is one of those things that just can't be excused, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely. I just need the binder. Yep, absolutely. Yep, no problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. The date should be in there. It started on an app called Kick, then I went to text messaging. Yeah, you just had to look there. The date should be in there. Yeah. All right. Well, the sheriffs have just spoken with me. It seems like this isn't going to be a very good night at all for Tim. Right now, he's in handcuffs. Looks like in the back of a police car right there. And, they're asking him a few questions about the situation. They're not going to let us listen in on that, but we should get the scoop in just a minute here. Now, we can vaguely hear the officers discussing what may happen with Tim here. It sounded like, from what I got, it sounded like he admitted to most of what he was saying in the chat log, and they are contemplating what is going to be done with Tim here. Safe to say, it's not looking good for him. Hold on, the officer's got that back there. So now it looks like the Eaton County Sheriff's Department have confiscated Tim's phone. It was in just a little plastic bag right there, probably of the same plastic that he was using to store the that he wanted to try. Oh, let's see, the officers are doing a thorough search on his van here. Looks like we have a Dodge Caravan here. You never know what the officers may find. Only time will tell. So, can you tell us what's going on? Can you give us a statement or anything? Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay. Okay, well, the Eaton County Sheriff's unfortunately were not able to give us a statement at this time about what's happening with Tim. But from the sound of it, it doesn't sound like it's turning out very good for Tim at all. Oh, yes, we're live on the news. Would you like to give a statement as to what's going on? We do? Yes, we actually have one in the back of this police car right now. He came to meet a female. Yes, a female. And he was going to bring, possibly alcohol.
Oh, that's the young one.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're trying. Say hey to her. Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, we will. Thank you, ladies. Have a good night. Looks like the sheriffs are doing a even deeper search on Tim's car. Now they're pulling on the latex gloves. Now they're going in. It seems that Tim is letting the police know that he has brought something in his car. Some sort of substance is what I'm gathering. Let's see what comes out of the van. Tim's got a lunch in his car.
If you can't find it, then probably I don't see it.
Darn it. It's hoping we're wrong. He get it from his mom. All set? Alright, thank you guys for coming out and being cooperative. Have a good one. Oh yeah. Do we have a case number? Well, that was 52-year-old Tim from Albion, Michigan. He came to meet a girl and put his tongue between her crack and all sorts of crazy stuff. Didn't get to a lot of the chat log, but that's the gist of what he wanted to do. And he also wanted to give her some drugs. It turns out he's going away there in the police car, and he will not be driving back in his mom's minivan. It's still right over there, so she's probably gonna be mad about that. Well, anyway, that's pretty much gonna be a cut. This has been your 10 o'clock news. I'm Skeet Hansen, Channel 4, Skeet TV News, and I'm out.
Well, I gotta say, that was quite the story, right? And thank you so much, Skeet, for bringing that to us. It makes you wonder, right? What would make someone go out and get cupcakes? Unfortunately, that's all the time we have here at Skeet TV News tonight. Tune in tomorrow, we'll be more in depth with the baby panda bear situation. To all of us here at Skeet TV News, I'm your host, Ger3mjdkwUsUfmkW. You stay classy.
And so right now, the decoy is going over to the bench. She's going to be in position waiting for her guy, Tim, to arrive. We'll go look at his chat log pretty soon.
But who we're catching today is this guy. His name is Tim. He's had a pretty fairly sexually charged conversation we thought to be for the past few months. He says, nothing needs to be rushed, and, it's pretty respectable. He says there's too many diseases and stuff to get, and then pregnancy is a whole other thing. So you clearly see he's thinking with the wrong head here. You see where his mind is. He says she has nice curves. He says their body looks older. Do you like to cuddle or kiss? He says, are you an affectionate person? He wants to do things like touching, all the sorts. He doesn't get too graphic, but he pretty much goes right with the line, crosses it a little bit, and then comes back. However, I think we do have enough here to possibly control this. Also, today is Easter Sunday. Hence why I'm wearing my fly purple suit. Just picked it up from the tailor. I got a few cigars here, actually. I'm going to light one up before I go talk to him, and I'm going to see if he wants one as well. There's wine night on the Easter spirit. Sunday, the Lord's Day. He says, so you're open to everything. Experimentation is always fun. You don't know what you like until you try it. Have you ever came when your ex did things to you? He's done things like regular sex, positions, toys, outside, cars. He talks about doing oral sex in different positions. Like, you pretty much get the gist of it. I mean, Tim, pretty bad guy. So we're going to be getting ready to meet him in just a little bit. Should be here in 10 to 15 minutes, and then shortly after that we'll be calling the Roseville Police Department.
Can you make this house?
Yeah. Catch a predator here.
How are you? I'm good. I did. You did too. Yeah. No, it's really nice out today. Find any good places to eat? Is that like wings and stuff? Is there like a lot of TVs? Yeah, no. I just what do you get there? I think I've been there with my dad. Yeah, we don't have school tomorrow either because Easter. If they said. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't going to argue. No, it's been Fortnite on PS4. Nothing fun. I love Fortnite. Wait, what do you play? Oh. That's scary. Why would you want to kill people? So you've never killed anyone? Oh. Well, you made it sound like you did. Yeah. Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto? Oh. See, I'm not allowed to say that. What the hell? A new GTA?
How's it going, Tim?
Oh.
You, here to put your, eggs in a basket, or? Seems like watching videos like this. Now, at one point you said, how would you dress your little boy toy? You're referencing yourself as a boy toy. Boy like this. You asked her if she wants her sweet ass. And ask you a question, right? Like this. And I know that you're here at Burger King to meet this, but even though you're at Burger King, you cannot have it your way. Get on your computer or mobile device right now and head on over to skeeterg.locals.com. For only $7 a month, you can gain access to early and extended videos, full credits for chat logs, phone calls,
membership acknowledgement. And also, due to their strict guidelines, some of this content can never be shown on YouTube. So what are you waiting for? Break out that credit card and join the Skeeter G Locals community today. Not at all. What are you here for? Just to hang out?
They come on, we can grab some lunch, so I said, grab some lunch. You never said anything about that. I said, I keep everything in public.
Sure. That's all you wanted to do? Well, what about when you talked about oral sex in the chapel?
Oh, that was a long time ago. I stayed away from that.
It may have been a long time ago, Tim, but you're still here and everything, and you brought it up.
But I said today, it's like, come up and leave, we'll hang out, we'll grab some lunch. So let's go to my place or your place. I'm like, no, let's keep it on public.
Keep it all in public?
Yeah, I don't want anything like that.
Well, fair enough, but, when you mentioned the oral sex in the chapel, it's just...
Yeah, that was wrong, but what we didn't want to do, that's why I said everything's going to be in public. I don't want anything like that to come back on me.
Well, to be fair, though, Tim, you can do oral sex in public, and I remember, yeah. Well, at some point, you did say that you've done everything. You've done it indoors and outdoors in cars, and you do have a car here. You're an adult, and she's a woman. So it's... Okay. Nothing else? Do you have kids of your own, Tim? You do? How old are they, if you don't mind?
All ages.
Okay. Around the age of the girl you're here to meet today. Just to talk? Okay. Alright, well, I mean, just judging by what I have here, though, Tim, I feel like you're here to do more of this, just talk. Yeah. Just everything public. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. And you do talk about how curvy her body is and whatnot. I know you said that you're a bit of a boob guy, a bit of a boob connoisseur. You made some comments on, her boobs as well. And before that, when you were talking about maybe the idea of sex, you said pregnancy is a whole other thing. So obviously, you're being careful in that regard. Well, right here it says two main diseases and stuff to get to, and pregnancy is a whole other thing. That was way back then. Yeah. You remember the context of that one. Okay. And did you happen to bring condoms with you to the night in the car or anything? You don't typically just walk around with condoms? Okay. Okay. Fair. So you ask if she's an affectionate person and if she likes to cuddle and kiss. Right. So she made that comment. Okay. Okay. And why did you bring up possibly cuddling and kissing? You brought it up in the past. Okay. Okay. You tell her that, you like boobs even more. You say, I bet that ass feels good.
I don't see it yet. It's not like I sent pictures or asked for pictures.
I understand you didn't see it, but just to even be thinking like that with, just like, she's we're crying out loud. Tim, you say that you're curious and that you like to look at boobs and play with them. And you ask her if she's a good kisser. I mean, Tim, why did we need to know that? Yes, everyone that you're talking to online, if they're a good kisser, regardless of age or not, and you ask her, I don't know, is your son or daughter? You ask your son that? Why not? Why'd you care if this girl was a good kisser? If you didn't have any interest. And how old are you, Tim? 50-something. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm no mathematician, but I know that 50-something and equals probably. You know what I mean? Would you agree? Yeah. Do you mind if I sit down?
Yeah. Oh, I just need to talk to you a little more. What's that? Well, at this point, Tim, we're looking at, possibly getting authorities involved because just the whole solicitation. I just want to talk. Well, I was going to. Well, Tim, if you let me get to it, I was going to get to it here. Tim, I just want to talk to you. Oh, well, let me introduce myself. My name's Doyle. Nice to meet you. I'm just I'm just a private contractor. Yes. Tim, I just wanted to talk. Well, I want to talk to you before it was. Yes, you traveled to meet a, presumably, for these acts that you talked about in the chat. Tim, what about when you say kissing, touching, and exploring? I'll show you. Do you want to? I got another cigar. Do you want a cigar? I can light you up. We can talk a little bit. Okay. But do you want pizza? I can order like some pizza or something. Okay. All right. Well, let me just talk to you a little more. So. No, I understand. I understand. Well, I'm not either, but. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, but then when you talked about her being naked, and you talked about moral sex and stuff like that with her, that you did stuff with toys. Well, I hear you. But it's just, but to me,
it may have been inappropriate, but she said, "Have you done that?" Or she said she did, and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And so it's a legit question. I guess it's not a legit question. It's a natural question in some cases that the bad.
Then what about here when you said I'm a fan of oral impositions? She said, "So would you want to do that to me?" You say, "I'd love to, especially giving." So you're right there. You said you'd love to have oral sex with me. And but Tim, you're here.
The last thing you said, you can go anywhere and buy it.
The thing is, Tim, that doesn't really work.
Yes, I agree with that, but there was no fact that everything that I didn't want anything to be thought of because it was going to be public.
Well, the thing is, you can still have sex in public, and it's called, it's a matter of public. It's indecent. It's indecent exposure, for sure. Right, and there's not many people here. I mean, there's trucks here. What's stopping you from going in your car right there and doing something there in the car? For sure. I mean, there could be a. Yeah. You could drive to a back alley. How do I know you weren't going to drive somewhere with her to a more private location? Anything could, but the thing is, you're here, Tim, and who knows what would have happened.
Anything, but then she said so we can go to a restaurant. I said, well, if you feel comfortable, I said, there's no place within walking distance, but we're going to walk there.
Okay. But, Tim, how does it look, just a 50-year-old man coming to meet him in any context? I mean, what would your kids think of this? You said you have 3 kids. What would they think of you coming to meet them? Yeah. Well, I'm asking, what would they think? Yeah, right. Right. That's what I'm trying to make clear. Then you say your son's gone. How would you feel if he was talking up, or a 50-year-old man was talking him up like this, and you went to meet him? Well, what would you think? Right. Would you want hair in your mouth after you talk about oral sex? So why would you have hair? Yeah, see what's here. Oh. Yeah. So I'll show you. So it's just my preference, especially when giving oral. You say, what do you want hair in your mouth? Can you see it now? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then you ask, if she cares, if the guy's trimmed or not, that sort of thing. Do you have a size preference? What do you mean by size preference? Just don't remember. It was a while ago, so I'll give you that. It was a minute ago.
for sure.
You say that it's average salary, meaning, I mean, I think we know what you're talking about. Right. Okay. So is it average, actually? Okay. I mean, just because you said it here, so I just wonder if you're truthful about it. So, you do ask for a bikini picture. I mean, you're just interested in, her breast size, and you asked something about it for mom had, big breasts as well. You told me you had X double D's, they were fake, that sort of thing. How far did you drive to get here today, then? From Drew. Okay. Yeah, I got a buddy that lives down pretty decent area. But that whole drive here, the 30 minutes or whatever, did you, stop and think, like, hey, maybe this is a thing that I probably shouldn't be doing?
But I was like, just no intention of doing anything else except hanging out and going.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's probably all online now, but it seems like she's. I'm not asking, but she hangs out, her mom's gone a lot. She hangs out with her mom, or, by herself at home. Right. Or her mom at home. She seems like she didn't have anybody to talk to or hang out, or something like, okay, well, let's do that. So if that's not the case, that's not the case. Whatever it is, it is. But.
Okay. And would you say, was there no one else you could hang out with today? It's Easter for crying out loud. Yeah, their moms, okay. Okay. So it's like a shared custody thing? Okay. What would she think it is? Yeah, pretty. Right, but still, you're still in contact and you have kids together. That's just, I can't imagine she would be, very happy about it. So, I imagine that, did that run through your head before? Okay. But you still thought, no, just no big deal, just let's hang out.
Yeah, otherwise I'm really fine.
Okay.
Specifically today.
Okay.
Let's keep everything. That would be my only intention about it.
Okay. What about when you asked if she had cameras at her house? Do you remember? I got it right here, there at the bottom. Do you have cameras at your house? I can make this a little bit brighter so you can see. But yeah. Oh yeah. Here. Oh, you can see it. Oh, further. Sorry. Yeah, right there. Yeah, just at the bottom. Yeah, I'm just wondering why. If you didn't have any intention of, do anything, I just don't know why you want to. True. What would you say at that point where you maybe possibly entertaining the idea of doing something and going back to her house when her parents weren't there? No. Okay. Got it.
And if he was there or not, it's like, I'm going to be honest with you, because otherwise, that kind of stuff.
Fair enough. You ask her to show you her butt. You say, how does it look from the back? No, honestly, Tim, is that really inappropriate thing to ask? You say it's 69 degrees here with a winky face. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you said it's 69 winky face. We know what 69 means. Right? Is that right? Is that what you were?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah. I just don't get why the winky face after 69. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's pretty much the the gist of it. It's a lot of inappropriate conversation.
Things that happen physically, that's why I just public, right? That was my whole point.
Okay.
I don't want to think that I'm going to go to your house or come to my house or something like that. Just this way she coffee shops around, or she said she didn't like coffee, so maybe coffee shops around, restaurants.
Yeah. But why even go there, like, with a... if you don't have any... any kind of context. If the context is just, like, hanging out with her, and that's it, why have this conversation and come Hey, folks, can I get your guys' opinion on something real quick? So, let me ask you this scenario. Say you're talking, how did you guys meet? Are you guys, like, together, or? Yeah, okay, cool. So, if you guys say you met online, say, like, Tinder, something like that, and you're having a conversation, you get a little flirty, and then you go to meet up, and you just go to lunch or whatever. Do you think, or are you planning to do any of, like, the flirtatious stuff that you talked about before, or is it solely just going to lunch and we have no intentions of doing anything further than that? That's the vibe of the person? Okay. Would you say it was going to depend on the vibe, Tim? Okay. Because he came to me today, so, off the dating app, and, so you think that's different? That it is, like, that's what I'm trying to explain to my man here, It's a different predicament, right? Yeah, and you wouldn't, you see what I'm trying to say, Tim? Yeah. Oh, for sure, I appreciate your opinion, though. Happy Easter, have a good one. Yeah, I just want to get, an outside opinion. But, you see, even they have the same opinion as me, so. Right.
Yeah, we might have talked that kind of stuff for a while, but when I started coming to meet, it's going to be all public. That was not my intention.
Okay.
She seemed like, got into the flirtations and some of the conversations, but she seemed like she was like, because her mom traveled a lot, she was by herself a lot. She just didn't have anybody to talk to.
You're just trying to be a friend.
Well, I talked to her for the most part.
Essentially.
And I didn't want to go do anything like that because of her age, but
yeah.
Just had something nobody to talk to or hang out with, and said she was going to be like stuck here with some uncle's house for for a couple of days by herself. I'm like, all right, well, go grab lunch, so we're not like on again.
Yeah, I just wanted to go over with you why you were doing this sort of thing, especially on these sort of hard days. It's just not like, yeah. Yeah, I believe they would be here for us. Is there anything else you have to say, or? Yeah.
Meet them is questionable, but
questionable. Yeah. So it is something that we have to. It's the traveling to meet her after having a bit of a sexual charge conversation. I mean, you would agree it was inappropriate. That would be the illegal part. So if you stay at home and come out and try to meet her, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation, obviously, too. But it's like being that you showed up here, so it's just something we just had to let them know. That's what. All right, Tim. Well, that's all you have to say.
Canada's immigration catastrophe. The numbers that will make you spit your Tim Hortons out. Actually, I don't drink Tim Hortons, so I won't be spitting any of that out. The Tim Hortons coffee is garbage anyway. Buckle up. In today's report, we're going to take a deep dive in the absolute dumpster fire that is Canada's mass immigration experiment. Let's get into this report. Canada's mass immigration has been a complete disaster. The one where we invited the entire world for poutine, then we realized we forgot the extra houses and jobs, or even basic welcome to Canada values running over all of our problems today. Yeah, it stems from bringing in too many people too fast without much of a hey, do you like hockey? Vetting process and house prices. The cost of living has exploded like fireworks gone wrong. Yeah, benefits from all this. You might have guessed it. The super rich insiders hoarding all the It gets better, or should I say even more mind-boggling. A shocking report dropped today that on Canada's immigration numbers, and let me tell you, you're going to be gobsmacked that Canadians voted back the same clowns who engineered the worst affordability crisis in our history. It's like re-electing the captain of the Titanic because he promised fewer icebergs next time. And the cherry on top, the folks we brought in weren't exactly rushing to assimilate into Canadian culture. We're going to get into it. And you know, Canadians are furious because we find out that these people that come here are getting more support than the Canadian citizens that are barely scraping by. Because nothing says multicultural harmony like ignoring the host country while demanding all of the perks. Yeah, they get all the perks. Let's just get into the nitty-gritty with some numbers that will blow your mind. I have to warn you, when I first took a look at this, it made zero sense, and I could not comprehend what I was actually looking at. I have the work permits, temporary labor permits that included all three categories. The temporary foreign workers is interpreted. The study permits is green, and the international mobility program is the red. These numbers are from year 2000 all the way to 2024. Last year, let's take a look at last year. The temporary foreign worker program, yes, it has exploded, but it has exploded from a very small number, below 100,000, and now it's above 200,000. So it's gone up 100%. But check out the other categories, like the student permit visas. And these people can work up to 24 hours per week. So that means they can work 3 shifts a week at 8 hours. And we brought in over 1 million people in that category. And then when we take a look at this international mobility program, we brought in almost 2 million people. It's like boom. So in total, we brought in 3.125 million people last year in a 12-month period. I know. I'm telling you this, and as I'm telling you this, the number inside my brain can't even function to think about how many people that is in 12 months. Let's actually crunch the numbers. This year,
Oh, Dempsey, I think I can see your house from here. It's on fire! Oh no, I need ammo. Must get to...
Artificial gravity and life support systems are offline.
Oh, it's just a moon base after all. No biggie. Oh yeah, time to turn on the power.
way over target this year for the temporary foreign workers, but I really am interested in this mobility program, and we're going to get into what that is. We lost over 106,000 jobs in just 2 months, yet we're bringing in 105 temporary foreign workers this year. I want to show you this chart. Year 2000 to year 2022, the temporary foreign worker program is all the way over there on the right, on the bottom. It is like this big, but the International Mobility Program is gigantic. Take a look at the growth of this program, and then the study permits is the dark blue line. What is the Temporary International Mobility Program? Because it's a workaround, the Lima Temporary Foreign Worker Program.
Yeah! It worked! Now on to phase 12. Now to find ammunition. It's so small and deadly. It has a suit, but is still dead. You dare touch me, minion? Without the bullets, I must start starving. Ah! Starving!
his death was silent, but just as deadly.
I also want to touch on this. Workers to enter Canada to strengthen bilateral and multilateral ties between Canada and the global community, as well as promote the likes of art, culture, sports, and religion in Canada. Get this.